This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth, and as I'm sure you guys are already well aware, there are massive riots taking place right now in Los Angeles as people are protesting the fact that ICE agents are rounding up illegal immigrants. You can see there's a lot of people waving the Mexican flag, showing where their true loyalty lies. We're seeing lots of this kind of footage of just absolute mayhem. You got these Waymo cars being set on fire, with the imagery there is quite shocking. You've got news reporters suggesting things very eerily reminiscent of the George Floyd days and the BLM riots, where they were saying, "Oh, this is just a peaceful protest here, and essentially just some kids having fun." Check this out. It's absolutely wild.
Demonstrations have been going on right outside the Federal Detention Center. Most of those demonstrators were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting.
Most of them were peaceful while they're showing all the
driving by,
the wreckage.
And again, they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants at the Federal Center.
No. It's illegal immigrants. That's the key. The part that you missed there.
People, it could turn very volatile if you move law enforcement in there in the wrong way and turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation.
Just people having fun, just messing around watching cars burn. Well, what we're seeing is protesters doing things like looting an Adidas store. I mean, that'll show ICE, right? If you're protesting against ICE, let's just go rob, loot, and pillage stores like Adidas. I mean, obviously there's a lot of opportunists here who don't even understand what the protest is truly about, and they're just taking this opportunity to loot and rob and pillage and do everything they can to destroy Los Angeles. And that's why it's very concerning when we see things like this coming from Laura Loomer, for example, saying it's time to deploy Palantir tech to Los Angeles to deal with the illegals. You'd love to see it. You're lying if you say you wouldn't. Guys, in case you didn't know, Palantir Tech is essentially setting up like a massive surveillance program and operation against the American people. And as Spiro says here, to those calling for the military to be deployed to LA, that is exactly what the ones pulling the strings want. Problem, reaction, solution. Don't fall for it. And he posts a link here to the Posse Comitatus Act. Can the U.S. military be used for law enforcement? It is a federal law prohibiting federal armed forces from participating in civilian law enforcement activities, either civil or criminal. This means that, generally speaking, active duty U.S. military personnel cannot be used for domestic law enforcement. Well, now we see the full Marine battalion of 700 being deployed to Los Angeles as these protests continue. These 700 Marines are going to be joining the roughly 2,000 California National Guard troops who are going to be stationed in Los Angeles over the weekend. You've got Donald Trump saying we're going to have troops everywhere after these ICE protests, and he just authorized deploying 2,000 more National Guard troops to L.A., and you got the 700 Marines heading to LA for this riot assistance. And it's not just Los Angeles right now, guys. We're actually seeing these protests spread beyond LA as the national tensions are mounting over these immigration raids. And again, I take it back to this question of, the Posse Comitatus Act and whether or not U.S. military personnel can be used for domestic law enforcement. And I'm reminded of an interview and a video that I did 12 years ago now, titled Civil War in the Litmus Test, Will You Shoot Americans? And this is where Dr. Jim Garrow, a renowned author and whistleblower who was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for his humanitarian work, contacted me and said he was contacted by a high-ranking military official who wanted him to tell the truth about this litmus test that was being proposed by the Obama administration at the time to the military, essentially asking the question, will they be willing to shoot upon Americans if they are asked to do so? So I think it's pretty relevant to what's happening today. So we're going to take quick look at that as well, guys. But just before we jump into all this, I just want to remind you, I'm currently in Stockholm, Sweden right now to cover the annual Bilderberg conference. If this is something that you would like to support, you can check that top link in the description below to where you can find this Go Get Funding campaign. I am trying to reach a goal of 4,000. I'm almost there, so if you'd like to contribute to that, please check the top link in the description. And if you don't want to use Go Get Funding, you can also make a contribution at pressfortruth.ca/donate. You can do, PayPal, Bitcoin. You could send an e-transfer. You could send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Again, links for all this are located in the description below. All right, some of the footage coming out of this is pretty wild, and honestly, it feels like it's showing no signs of slowing right now. We got the full Marine battalion of 700 being deployed right now to Los Angeles. And I gotta say, when I'm seeing clips like this, and this is just one of many now that I've seen, where it really kind of appears like a lot of the police vehicles have been abandoned directly in the path of some of these protesters who obviously are going to start, doing things like what you're seeing on the screen right now, completely demolishing them. It reminds me of the scene that I, filmed in my film Into the Fire way back when the G20 came to Toronto, and the Toronto police officers did similar things, left police cars directly in the path of these protesters, essentially knowing exactly what was going to happen. And sure enough, it happened. They started attacking the vehicles. They started setting them on fire. It created this huge scene for the media to cover. And then it was like, yes, of course we have to go in. Of course we have to crack down on these people. Just look at what's happening here. And that's why it's important to pay attention to what this person is saying here. Time to deploy Palantir tech to Los Angeles to deal with the illegals. Well, I'd have to agree here with Derek Bros, who says, moron, helping the growth of the police state, and you know it. Because that's essentially what this does come down to. And that's why Spiro said, look, to those calling for the military to be deployed to LA here, this is exactly what the ones pulling the strings want. This is a problem, reaction, solution setup. Don't fall for it. So, like I said, this is showing no signs of slowing right now. So where is this going to go? I mean, in just 4 days from now, in case you didn't know, there is a massive military parade being planned for Donald Trump's birthday, June 14th, 2025, to celebrate the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary. We're talking 6,600 soldiers, 150 vehicles, 50 aircraft. Like, this is going to be a huge event. And it's happening at the same time that these protests are going to be going on. Like I said, I really don't think it's going to slow down over the next 4 days. And in fact, it's probably just going to increase. So what the heck's going to be happening, over the course of the weekend when you've got Donald Trump on his birthday celebrating the Army's 250th anniversary with this massive military parade? I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Where do you guys see this stuff going over the course of the weekend, as the Trump administration is trying to show their might right now, and the National Guards, the military is essentially going to be used to crack down on these protesters. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. By the way, if you didn't know, guys, I happen to share a birthday with Donald Trump. So on June 14th, at the time of this military parade, it's also going to be my birthday. So if you guys would like to, wish me a happy birthday, a nice way to do that would be to contribute to this Go Get Funding campaign. Again, I'm here in Stockholm, Sweden to cover the annual Bilderberg conference. Once again, if you'd rather not use Go Get Funding, you could send me something here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. And of course, that would be very, very greatly appreciated. But as I said, guys, I want to leave you with some clips from this 2013 video now of an interview that I did with Dr. Jim Garrow. And again, I think this is very relevant to what we're seeing today, and is, I would suggest, still happening behind the scenes, where military is probably being posed with this litmus test, this question: would you be willing to shoot upon protesters, American citizens? And now just switch out, the back then we were talking about, the fact that Americans are not willing to give up their guns. Well, just swap that out for the issue of, that they have with immigration and these ICE agents, detaining illegal immigrants. And I think you'll agree it's pretty relevant. So I wanted to share that one with you today, guys. Once again, don't forget to check out the links in the description to where you can support my efforts here in Stockholm. You can do that here at Go Get Funding or at pressfortruth.ca/donate. But again, I think it's relevant, so I wanted to play for you this interview from 2013. In this video here, titled Civil War and the Litmus Test, Will You Shoot Upon Americans? Check it out, guys.